The milky brown color of the rivers and streams flowing across the country indicate suspended particles, including poisonous heavy metals. 2 years ago, residents of Ewusiejo in the Ahanta West district of the Western region were drinking the polluted water, but soon they started experiencing strange afflictions.
Urinating and also burning sensation when they are urinating, and also some came with skin rashes.
We fetched samples from the Tano, Brim, Butre, Ofing, Anuru, Ankobra, Pra, and other polluted sources of water to be tested for heavy metals at the Sheath Laboratory of the KNUST's Chemistry Department using the American and Ghanaian standards. Dr. Eugene Ansa explains the test results.
All these water samples that are coming from our water bodies in Ghana were found to be acidic in nature, that is having a pH less than 7. It means that it has got a corrosive effect, and whenever you drink it, you have irritations in the throat. Drinking waters are expected to be neutral. In terms of toxic metals, lead was ranked as the highest toxic metal present in all these water samples. And should anybody drink this water or even swim in these waters, then they are exposed to high levels of lead. The other metals include chromium, cadmium, and arsenic, and all these samples could not pass the quality standards.
Surely, the waters in Africa and food production is dwindling, basically, in my opinion, not necessarily because of the climate change, from the impact from Western countries. And even if it is from climate change, it is based on the internal impacts of the activities of Africans that lead to pollution of waters and insufficient food supplies. In almost every African country, there is illegal mining. In almost every African country, there is sand mining. Sand mining can lead to erosion and degradation of the agricultural land, and certainly farming is not going to be productive. Illegal mining, which in South Africa is called Zamazama, in Ghana is called Galamsey, is a huge business in almost every African country. And to make matters worse, corruption. Some of the high-profile government officials, civil servants, politicians have been linked to some of these illegal mining activities. And you know what these illegal mining activities do. Most of these illegal mining activities, they use a lot of chemicals. Some of the chemical is mercury. And mercury that we use to wash the gold, when inhaled or ingested, have an impact on the nerves and the immune system. It affects your digestive system, and also it affects the respiratory system. When these mercury evaporate, they hang on the leaf of trees. When it rains, it washes all this mercury and all the other chemicals used in the illegal mining. All this finds its way into the river bodies. The aquatic life is harmed. People who consume this meat at home fall sick. The river bodies are polluted. The water we drink at homes are all polluted. Does this look like the impact of any industrialized country on the African continent? Surely, climate change could be happening on the African continent. But don't we think that it's our own activities from the past till now that is haunting us? Don't we think that we need to take a step back and look at our actions and inactions and stop the blame game? Surely, someone must take the blame. And certainly, from where I sit, I do not think the West should take the blame alone. Surely, activities on the African continent, like illegal mining, in Ghana, for instance, huge forest reserves have been leveled just to make way for illegal mining. These trees that have been felled for illegal mining, don't we know will bring about global warming? Do you think that it's only the industrialized countries that produce emissions? Surely, our own activities are warming our environment, because when you fell the trees to mine gold and other minerals just to meet your selfish gains, then you do not put the blame on the United States, Canada, or even the European Union. We must learn to be responsible. African leaders must learn to be responsible. Wake up. Surely the impact of climate change on health is apparent. Like I mentioned, impact on clean air, the impact on clean and safe drinking water, the impact on secure food production, and its impact. But we should take the blame. African leaders would always jump at nothing to speak at financing problems, financing this, financing that, financing everything. The only thing an African leader would always tell the West, do not interfere, we can handle our own problems, is when it comes to elections. Whenever they want to be elected into office, they want to be elected into power, they feel that someone is interfering in their business. That is just because they always know that they want to rig elections. They always want to remain in power. So you hear terms like democracy is not for Africans. Democracy is a borrowed thing. Democracy, Africa needs to be given time for democracy to grow. We can manage our own business. International observers are not needed. But African leaders never say, Africa, we do not need your funds for climate action. We do not need your funds for climate adaptation. African leaders never say, we do not need your loans. It is only after they've taken the loans, they go on air to say, no country has ever developed or has ever grown using money or borrowing money from the IMF. If no country ever grows borrowing money from the IMF, why go to the IMF in the first place? If you know this fact. So dear Macky Sall, give us a break. Put your house in order. Europeans and the Americans have done their bit. They have walked the talk. They have committed 11 billion to climate adaptation and climate change. How much has the African continent even invested in their own climate change activities? How much? There's so much drought in the Horn of Africa, East Africa for that matter. How much have this government invested to avert the situation? This is not the first time drought has occurred in the Horn of Africa. Drought occurred almost every year, but its severity is what has gone beyond the normal this year. Have these countries invested to avert these problems? All the leaders of these countries think about is a reactionary approach. Once the situation seems to have died out, then all is forgotten. Climate change is real. And Africans, like Thabo Mbeki said in 2001, Africans must be accountable for their own actions. Africans, if you want African tailored solutions for African problems, then you must be accountable for all your actions. You must commit your own funds to fight the situation. A word to the wise is enough, they say. If you like our channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification button. Leave us a comment on what you need us to talk on. Give us a comment if you like this channel. Make sure to share. Thank you, and we shall come your way next time.